Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is of a patient who attended another clinic and they attempted to remove the wax, but they were struggling to do so. And as a result, they invited the patient back a few days later and in the meanwhile recommended they use some drops to soften the wax. After a couple of days of using the drops, the patient's symptoms further worsened, they exacerbated, and that's because the wax absorbed the drops and it expanded and swelled even more, and it created more of a blockage. And upon attending the clinic, they were in severe pain. They were actually holding their ear in their hands because it was that painful for them. They weren't able to hear much at all. And the patient was quite anxious because obviously they felt something was wrong with it. They may have permanently lost their hearing. So just reassured the patient, said we'll get this wax out and hopefully they'll be able to hear a lot better. So they were using hydrogen peroxide based drops, which is, at least for microsuction, if you're performing microsuction, it's not the type of drops that I would personally recommend. And that's because hydrogen peroxide drops, it turns the wax into a very molten, mushy consistency, making it very hard to vacuum. In addition, hydrogen peroxide based drops are water based, and if you've been watching my videos and following my channel, you know I'm not keen on water entering the ear because it can lead to swimmer's ear and an ear infection. And finally, hydrogen peroxide based drops are alkaline in pH, whereas our ears has a natural acidity, and the natural acidity is designed to warn off and fight off harmful pathogens, so bacterial and fungi. So by introducing alkaline-based drops, it reduces the ear's natural ability to fight off against these bacteria and fungi. And in addition, you can get a bit of irritation. So I'm a big fan of using olive oil spray, which a medicinal grade, which is I've just put a bit, not too much, I've just put a squirt in there just to change the consistency. And the brand that I use, it's called Clear Olive Oil Ear Spray. We sell it on our Clearwax website. So if you visit our website, which is www.clearwax.co.uk, and you can visit our online shop and you can purchase the Clear Olive Oil Spray. We only ship it within the UK, so just bear that in mind. If you are a clinical ear care specialist and you want to buy in bulk so you can sell on to your clients and patients and customers, please register onto our Clearwax website. Just click sign in and it'll prompt you to register. Register, of course, as a professional, and then you'll have access to our trade shop where you can buy the Clear Olive Oil Spray and other products at trade prices. So you can see that olive oil has helped a little bit. It's just changed the consistency. It's enabled me to create an opening now. So you can see there's two openings there. We can see the eardrum in the distance. And although there's still quite a considerable amount of wax, the patient's symptoms have significantly improved. So they had 4 major symptoms. Earache, so that pain because of the wax plug was expanding, that had, even at this stage, alleviated. The hearing had massively improved because sound can now travel through the wax and vibrate against the eardrum. They were also suffering from tinnitus. So tinnitus is a ringing or a buzzing, or actually any type of noise that originates within your ear and it's not caused by an external stimulus. So that had alleviated. And they were also suffering from short-lasting bouts of vertigo. And so in the inner ear, we have the vestibular system. It consists of three semicircular canals, and these canals are full of fluid and microscopic hair cells. And earwax can cause pressure because it can create an airtight seal within the ear canal, and it can somewhat push the eardrum inwards, and that can cause a pressure differential within the ear canal in the middle ear and also the inner ear. And that can lead to disturbances of fluid within the organ of hearing that shouldn't normally occur. And those disturbances of fluid within the organ of balance displace these little microscopic hair cells, which then send signals to the brain via the balance nerve, telling your brain that you're moving when actually you're not. And that can lead to vertigo. So vertigo is a very complex phenomenon. There's many causes for dizziness and vertigo. On that list, I would say earwax is probably mid-table, but we're hoping in this instance the patient's vertigo has improved. Now, time will tell. If not, the patient's been advised to visit their GP because there would obviously be another cause for their vertigo and imbalance. So The eardrum is visible now. You've got this sticky wax, and this is what hydrogen peroxide drops can do. Now, I'm not discounting hydrogen peroxide drops in that sense. At least for microsuction, I'm not a big fan, and the chemical composition, it doesn't really. For me, if I'm going to perform earwax removal, I would recommend olive oil, because olive oil is acidic, as I may have explained earlier. Our ears also secrete natural oils as well, so it's more the ear warms to olive oil a lot better than most other ear care products. Now, for me, it's the consistency. It's the big thing. As I said, olive oil binds the wax together. It's always compare olive oil spray and drops to an egg in a potato cake or fish cake recipes. It helps binds all the ingredients together. Now, if you're performing ear irrigation or syringing and you're having your earwax removed in that methodology, it may well be that hydrogen peroxide drops is really, really good for that procedure, but I'm not its biggest fan. It still helps. It still softens the wax. But I'm a bigger fan of olive oil spray in that case. So you've got some skin here, some dead skin, so just being that way. I'm reverting to the fine end. I just don't want it to clarinet, and I'm just, again, we could really leave all this because it's not going to affect the hearing, but because we're on the cartilaginous portion, I'm just hovering over, we can put a bit of pressure here. So the cartilaginous portion, the skin that lines the cartilaginous portion of the ear canal, it's about 1 millimeter in thickness, and then you've got at the subcutaneous layer, so underneath that, at the outer layer of skin, you've got your dermis, and then you've got your subcutaneous layer, and underneath that you've got your cartilage, and you've got some muscle there as well, some fatty tissue. So the outer third is very flexible. And there's not many nerves on the cartilaginous portion, so you can put a lot of pressure on there without causing any pain or discomfort for the patient. Whereas the inner 2/3 of the ear canal, the bony part, you've got a very thin layer of skin, less than 0.1 millimeters in thickness, directly on bone, and that's very, very sensitive. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Take care, keep well, speak soon, and stay tuned. Bye.